Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. Our If I Only Had a Brain alert. This is, that's okay. We don't need the bumper music for it. You can play it if you want, but someone lost their cocaine on Tuesday, and in Virginia, in Crewe, Virginia, the police department is trying to help. They put a Facebook post up that said, if you mistakenly dropped your cocaine today at the Superdollar store, please contact us. We'd like to talk to you about your property. And a bunch of people reached out to the police department and said, can I come get my cocaine back? And so they had to post an actual message on their Facebook page saying, let us clarify, no, we will not give you back your illegal narcotics. They were weighed, photos, and evidence to be destroyed upon the approval of the court. We distribute lots of things, such as lollipops to our favorite kids, tickets to lead-footed friends, but we do not redistribute your drugs. We hope this clarifies our post a bit more. Yes. Okay, so what's going on in the Fox so-called news producers meetings? Chris in Darlington, South Carolina. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, years ago, probably about 30-some years ago, I listened to an interview with Rupert Murdoch. Back before he bought his American citizenship, he was talking about growing up in Australia during World War II and about all the American GIs that were fathering children on Australian women and then leaving them, while the Australian men were off fighting for king and country. And how it was his life's ambition to see the United States brought to its knees in retribution for that.
Can you turn that up a little bit, Troy? It was his life's ambition. Say that again, Chris. You faded out.
It was his life's ambition to see the United States brought to its knees.
Did Murdoch say it in those kind of words, or did you infer that?
Word for word.
Huh. Well, if you could find that interview anywhere, Chris, or you can find any trail to it, I would love to see it. I mean, just
on BBC World Service, I believe.
It was on BBC. Okay, we'll have to see what we can do in finding that. Thanks for the heads up. I appreciate that. Richard in driving through Idaho, listening on Sirius. Hey, Richard. Fox producer.
Hey, good morning, Thom.
Hey.
Yeah. All these people on Fox are always professing to be like big time Christians and stuff. You know, they're all supposed to be like God-fearing people. So the first thing I'd do is I'd march out like a copy of the Ten Commandments and start going down the list, starting with "Thou shalt not lie," and just like, okay, so how many of these have you actually violated today?
Right.
Because lying, there's a difference to me, like somebody who misinforms somebody because they don't know the truth, and
right.
somebody who misinforms somebody when they know what they're saying is false.
Mm-hmm.
You know the distinction I'm making here?
Yeah.
Fox absolutely knows what they're telling people is false information.
Sure.
They know they're misleading these people. And it's for what? It's for greed, right? Isn't greed one of the 7 deadly sins?
Yeah, it is. It's not in the Bible, but yeah, it's one of the 7 deadly sins. And bearing false witness, yeah, it's a big deal. Very, very interesting. This is one of the problems I think that they have on the right, and that some of my colleagues in right-wing talk radio have. You sit down and have a serious conversation with these guys, and some of them really get it, that they're basically the shills for the billionaires. It's just that they're paid very, very well, unlike progressive talk show hosts by and large. And how do you walk away from piles and piles of money? It's an amazing dynamic over there. Richard, thanks for the call. Judy in Mohawk, New York. Hey, Judy, what's up?
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you there?
Good. How are you?
I'll have that for an old person, I guess.
Okay.
The reason I called is I've been hearing a lot about this, the AP history and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have several grandchildren in school and all that. And I sit here and I wonder sometimes if it sounds like a conspiracy theory, God help me. Isn't it possible that this is the defunding of education and all of this hoopla is on purpose to dumb down our kids?
Yes.
So they will be easier to control, easier to manipulate, easier to fool, bamboozle, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I first wrote about this in a book called Screwed, which I published about 10 years ago, I think, and maybe not quite that far back. And, asserted that what the Republican agenda is and what the billionaire agenda is in the United States, and they're the same, is to take us back to an era of feudalism. In fact, in that book, Screwed, I quote Mark Bloch, who's one of the world's leading authorities on the feudal state, Feudal, feudalism. And he talks about how feudalism was not only an economic system but a social system as well. And basically, if they're going to go back to that, if they're going to go back to a system of one step above slavery, basically where working people they're not overt slaves. They're actually a cheaper form of slavery because, back in the days of slavery, at least people had to care for their slaves. They had to feed them and whatnot. Whereas now they can, Walmart can simply say, okay, here's your paycheck. Good luck. I'm sorry if it's not enough money to eat. Go apply for food stamps.
Exactly.
So it's like this new form of peonage, of debt bondage. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to convert an entire nation or a large chunk of the middle class of an entire nation from citizens and middle class, well-educated, well-informed folks into people who are willing to tolerate being in debt bondage, essentially, who are willing to tolerate peonage, then you have to make them, you have to keep them poorly informed and poorly educated, number one. And I think this is one of the reasons why for 100 years black schools in the United States were separate from white schools and were badly funded and bad education, was the white power structure was playing this thing out on black people. Now what's happening is the billionaire power structure is playing it out on everybody, which is why white people are starting to notice and going, huh?
Yeah, it just seems strange to me because obviously the Republicans like to go after low information voters.
Yes, that's their base. I mean, the only reason anybody would ever vote for a Republican is either A, they're a billionaire or they're related to one and they're voting their interests or a transnational corporation, or B, they believe the lies. They just they're like you said, a low information voter. Judy, thank you for the call. Excellent suggestion. Bernie update. Bernie may or may not be with us today. We're waiting to find out how long that meeting is going to be. He's got other meetings this afternoon. So we'll see if he shows up in the next 5 minutes or so. If he doesn't, he probably won't be with us.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-536-2370.
But I'm here, and I've got a large pile of stuff to share with you as we go through the day. We'll be back.